2022 presidential race is on and coalitions are coming up every day, with seasoned politicians now positioning themselves ahead of the 2022 elections. Our political reporter Liz Motuko spoke to former UNC-TAD Secretary General Mukhisa Kituyi about the swirling alliances and his ambition to occupy the House on the Hill.
Thank you so much, Daktari, for giving me the opportunity. Are you still in the race for 2022?
I have even not yet announced formally that I'm in the race.
But at least we know you came with that objective.
Yes, I said that at the right time I'm going to announce, and I'm going to do so.
I understand we have to plan with other leaders, and we have to talk to other leaders and with other leaders pertaining forming alliances if you want to win the presidency and to ascend to the presidency. How are you doing this?
There are two different things about this. The first thing is that you cannot just come as an individual from outside and you ask other people, let's form an alliance. You must build a certain constituency that you bring to the table. So before you have mobilized as a political party or as a political formation, that these are the people who are in the team that I'm leading, you have nothing to bring to the table in alliance building. So you must start working on identifying people, traveling, sharing your direction of travel. People who believe in things that are compatible with what you believe in, whose expectations of what government should do, should be, are similar to what you are expecting in your political vision.
Of that, I understand some people say that you're speaking to not doctor, but Professor Kibwana, and you're likely to form an alliance together.
I mean, Professor and I have been engaging consistently for more than 2 years now. We started talking about what was coming towards this election period, in that long. We have jointly engaged leaders from civil society and independent sectors. We have also jointly engaged other politicians in possibly working together. But definitely I am working fairly closely with him. Tomorrow I'll be touring Makueni by his invitation, and among leaders who are going to officially launch some completed development projects funded by donors and partners to the to his county government.
How many other leaders are you?
I don't know, but at least I know that the Honorable Martha Karua and Speaker Justin Muturi are likely to be on this trip.
Are we likely to see a coalition or an alliance from these three leaders, considering that everyone has a party, including yourself, maybe?
We're in the phase where each one of us has to start creating a constituency. Do you have an electorate that seems to support you, that you can bring to the table? So you cannot announce already, we are an alliance, just because some, like the Oka peoples announced we're now an alliance, without working out the mechanics. What is it that makes you an alliance? What do you bring to the table? What are the complementarities between you? What kind of people will you likely reach out to join you to be in the process of creating alliance? So I could say we're in the early steps of expanding the ranks among those we are consulting, and seeing if we can get more people with a shared direction of travel, around whom we can build an axis of alternative national leadership. We will see what is emerging.
But when you say it's not a desperate situation, they say any runner should start at least early.
I remember that in the 2007 election, Mwai Kibaki defended his presidency on a party that was formed 3 months before the election. That has been an issue. In Kenya politics, coalitions and parties are formed in the period, the last year towards an election, most likely 6 months before an election. So to try to rush it that you are declaring is not necessarily out of timeline considerations, but we are comfortable with the steps we are taking. We'll be announcing and launching the party fairly soon. We've been working on that for most of the last half year. Yeah.
From Western Kenya, there are other leaders, Moses Wetangula, Musalia Mudavadi, and many other leaders. How are you Are you going to consolidate this base, especially to be on your side?
No, the thing is, you always work with an awareness that you can always leave the possibility for coalescing together. Right now, Musalia is paying a lot of attention on how he coalesces together with Gideon and Kalonzo. I am also looking to coalesce with others. We will see how these different formations grow in their strength and their relevance. Then try to see, is there a complementarity between the axes we are building? Then can we start engaging? So you don't just say, let us start coalescing because we are from Western. Sioni hivyo kwa mfano Alfred Mutua, Kivuta Kibwana na Kalonzo Musyoka wakisema, let us coalesce as Wakamba before we go to coalesce as Oka. So it's not any different from Western Kenya.
Same as Deputy President William Ruto. Don't you think also you guys need to work together towards getting back the region? And especially you.
I am not campaigning to become the paramount chief of the Luhya. I'm laying the foundation to compete to be president of Kenya. And you should separate those. Building a credible base in Luhya land is only part of the formation of building the credibility as a candidate nationwide. So I'm paying attention to that. Not so much against Raila and Ruto, but for Kituyi. I'm building my foundation, I'm building networks. I've just been starting up offices which will formally be launching once we announce the party in all the counties in that region, but it's part of a national effort. So I don't see it so much as fighting Raila or fighting Ruto, but building the constituency of Kituyi.
Between Raila Odinga of ODM, Oka, One Kenya Alliance that is, and Deputy President, who are you likely to work with?
I am likely to first work with the constituency that supports my views, my agenda for Kenya. And secondly, the people who are in the process of building an axis of possible engagement with me that I am consulting and with whom, including those that we are going to Makueni with tomorrow. And then after that, we'll be looking at others who are ready to work with us, but particularly importantly, who share a sense of outrage about corruption as part of the big challenge for this country. So that will work its way out. I'm not pointing and naming names at this stage, but I'm consulting widely. Most important thing is, as much as possible, build a national constituency of people with a shared direction of travel about reining in the abuses and excesses of government, slaughtering the monster of corruption, making Made in Kenya competitive again, and reviving the glow on Enterprise Kenya.
Yes, Interior CS, Dr. Fred Matiang'i is saying that the Deputy President alone has 257 officers guarding him, his family, and his properties.
I think this is abuse of office. Nobody should have the authority or even the mandate to assign that number of public security personnel to one individual in government.
Is it a failure by the government?
I don't think it's not just about running about failure in government, but I think you cannot rationalize deploying that size of public security personnel at the service of one individual. We are not under siege as a country. I mean, with just the proliferation of issuing security personnel to guard persons and their property, from MCAs to MPs to governors to ministers, is run amok. And we cannot afford that. I mean, there is a more sustainable model of security where you know that to reduce the security, personal security risk to senior VIPs, you create a cordon of security for the whole society. And you don't do that by drawing 257 security personnel to the protection of one person and his properties and family. I mean, it is not forgivable. It's not justifiable. This is part of unsustainable use of public resources.
257. According to you, if you're going to be a president of this country, and which we're praying for, are you going to change this? Do we really need to change this culture?
I was senior minister in government. I had one AP at my residence, one security driver and another security bodyguard in my car. I love playing golf, but the days that I could go to play golf, I asked my driver and security to drive me to my house, and they live with a government car. I drive myself with my personal private car to go to a golf course and play golf. And it's, to me, a sense of a more defendable sense of security without creating a paranoia around the individuals. 2 days ago, I was driving from Nakuru to Nairobi, and one of the ministers had this blaring sirens with three siren cars, and a motorcade of more than 40 government cars driving him towards Nairobi, very, very briskly, pushing even containers with trailers off the narrow road as they sped forward in the hurried way to get to Nairobi. And it just showed me that there's something rotten about the way we're doing things when there is no emergency need that this minister should get everybody off the road for him to pass. And that there should be so many public vehicles escorting an individual coming from some function, going to his house. You can be a minister with 2 security and a driver and still get to your house and do business. If you are seen to be particularly security important, 2 escort cars, a Land Rover and another car with a siren could be understandable. But this unlimited wanton demonstration of we can marshal this for one person is not part of a country living in the circumstances economically that this country is living today.
You've been outside there. Is the situation different with the leaders outside the world?
I lived in Norway for 7 years, and I knew that the Prime Minister of Norway had one driver who was also security. In my time, she was traveling around on the road with one security person.
Dr. Mukhisa Kituyi, are you part of President Uhuru Kenyatta's succession matrix?
I don't know President Uhuru Kenyatta's succession matrix, but I've been hearing informally a lot of news items that the president is asking people in Mount Kenya to support Raila Odinga for president. And I suppose then that is Raila who is in his matrix.
As it is, you are on your own, and you decided this on your own.
Of course, I decided on my own to run for president. But I consult a lot of other people. I'm indulging a lot of people to talk together. What are the possible scenarios? What are the pathways for possible candidature? Which kind of people can we be ready to work with? But I have never asked, am I in the matrix of the president?
Indeed, those are the sentiments of former UNCTAD Secretary General Mukhisa Kituyi. He has stated that we are in the phase where one has to start creating a constituency. He's also said that he is not campaigning to be the president of lawyers, but a president for the country.